everybody? It is me, Jurassic Master, here to say that we're doing a breakdown video on the new Loki trailer that just came out. Woohoo! I'm very excited, very pumped. Yeah, four of these. We got four trailers basically. We got Loki, What If, uh, Winter Falcon, and another trailer for WandaVision. And I will do all of those. I don't know which order I'm going to be releasing these in. I don't know. So, yeah, let's get started with this. I play the trailer first, and then I break it down. So I will leave the original trailer in the video, or in the description down below. So.
Get your hands off.
You're taking me somewhere to kill me.
No, I'm taking you someplace to talk.
Well, I don't like to talk.
But you do like to lie, which you just did. Because we both know you love to talk. Talky.
How long have you been here?
I don't know, it's hard to say. You know, time passes differently here in the TVA.
What does that mean?
You'll catch up.
Glorious. To be ready. Come on. What did you expect?
So yeah, that was the trailer. Now let's break it down. So we're going to start from the beginning. We already know this part, just the Avengers Endgame part. Can't explain him which planet or where he is here. I cannot explain that. Don't have an explanation for that. I couldn't find, like, I don't have enough information to know where that is. But I basically spent half of my day
You're taking me somewhere to kill me.
This area.
No, I'm taking you someplace to talk.
So, who is this? This person? Well, let's first start off as, where are they? Well, they are at the Time Variance Authority. Basically, there basically are just like, simplest way I could figure this out was they're basically like time traveling cops, making sure that no entities or nothing bad, like nobody messes up with the timeline that could affect the multiverse. Sort of connecting back to WandaVision, maybe, possibly. Seems like this one they're at the or short for TA or TVA is on the shirt, so it's basically.
Well, I
But you do like to lie, which you just did.
So, this man right here, I'm assuming he is Justice Peace. Well, probably thinking, who the heck is Justice Peace? That's what I basically said. I didn't know who Justice Peace was too. I did a little bit of research, and Justice Peace looks like, or seems like, he was a person who worked at the CIA and then was moved to the TVA. So yeah, that's all I have. So yeah, that is that person. That is Justice Peace. This guy is this man right here. Let's continue.
Because we both know you love to talk. Talky.
How long have you been here?
I don't know, it's hard to say. You know, time passes differently here in the TVA.
What does that mean?
So at first, when he said time travel or time works differently here, I thought he was talking about limbo. Like I'm wondering. I don't think that this place is in like the timeline of limbo, of like that gray area. If you don't know what limbo is a timeless time, like where time doesn't really change, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's limbo, but I would look it up. Probably should have looked that up. Yeah.
You'll catch up.
We have a tent here. I don't have an explanation what it is, but I have, at the end of my video, I'll tell like how I think the timeline of this series is gonna go. So this person here, I didn't know who the heck this person was. I'm gonna be genuinely honest. And then I looked up villains, villains. I think it was villains for the TVA, and I looked it up, and there was this one character, Jake the Ripper. Now, Jake the Ripper basically is one of Dormammu's kind of minions who is basically sent out to cause problems and change everything to the dark dimension. And if everything goes to the dark dimension, most likely that will change time in the multiverse. Jake the Ripper is one of the people who are on the list of being probably their highest one of like, hey, we gotta get this, we gotta take care of this guy. This guy is he's gonna cause a little bit of problems. So I'm assuming that's them right here. So. And so who this is, I think this is one of the TVA guards, and this is how they look comic book version wise. So yeah, they basically sort of look the same. Like his helmet sort of basically the same here. So I mean, that's what I'm assuming who these people are. I mean, if it's not, wouldn't really make any sense. But that's my theory on that. And again, tries to get away but taken to the dark dimension.
Glorious.
It is glorious. So that's him probably at the Senate, or at the council saying, hey, what do we want to do with you? You've messed with time. We're gonna put you to jail or whatever, time jail. This is Miss Alternity, but in the comics it's Mr. But I think they changed it up and replaced it with a girl. So this would be Mrs. Alternity, I would believe. And basically she's the head honcho, or just basically the boss of the TVA. See him, they're probably doing like a profile and like, oh, these are all the things that you've done, or all the things that you caused timeline wise, or whatever. So I think that's the Ripper, or Jake the Ripper right there, sort of on the cams of the one behind the scenes and controlling all the puppets. I think that's when Loki turns on them. I'll explain that at the end. So this was like, holy cow. Where is this? This is, I believe, the dark dimension. I mean, if you look at the stuff here, and if you look at the stuff here, they're basically sort of look the same. And here's the comic book version. Ta-da, the comic book version of how the Dark Dimension looks. So I think this is going to be Jake the Ripper. Well, you can see that is sort of like a sword-looking thing there. And if you go here, where is it? Right about here, you can sort of see, looks like a sword, maybe a dagger, maybe it's just me, but I think that because Jake the Ripper, I'm pretty sure has a sword. I couldn't find any clear pictures that show him with the sword. It was either really small or really blurry, so that's the reason why I'm not pulling it up on the screen right now. So, but he has a sword. I think either a sword or little staff that's point. So I believe that's a sword. And if you go here, nope, you can sort of basically see that right there. So I think we're still in the Dark Dimension. And then we see this. This was like, holy cow, what just happened? What? Why is this here? No. But the big thing that I noticed that was like, holy cow, what the pants, is that this cable line has no birds on it. No, that's not the thing I was joking about. But this Avengers Tower, the Avengers Tower, like it looks like this, but now like this, or maybe since Tony Stark sold the Avengers Tower, maybe it went to the Fantastic Four. Sorry, I had a cough there. You see him on a plane, take his money. You see this. For a second, I thought this was Wakanda, because I was like, oh, when I think Wakanda, I think of purple. And with Black Panther's suit, T'Challa, let him rest in peace. I loved him. He was so cool in Black Panther. First, I was thinking that this was Wakanda because of the vibranium and like the mine-looking thing. And then I was like, no, I watched the first part of the movie, and the vibranium was blue. So it couldn't be Wakanda. Instead, I'm thinking this is the Dark Dimension. And, well, stuff looking like purplish, this kind of stuff, and how the Earth looks, wouldn't be that surprised. I mean, we saw the Dark Dimension here, and it's all like purplish and got all of this crazy stuff, so I wouldn't be that surprised if that's the Dark Dimension. We see him battling some guys. So, I think he time travels back to the Romans, or the Greeks. I'm assuming the Romans because there's a lot of red, and he has to save this little girl. That's what I think. That scene is, I think he's in ancient Rome here because of the sort of hanging, what do you call them? Like, I don't even know what you would call that. That kind of stuff.
Heimdall, you better be ready.
Heimdall, you better be ready. So that part, I think, is going to be at the end of the season. So, yeah. Let me give my theory on how it's all going to go. Like, how timeline-wise with the trailers of, like, how it's all going to be laid out. So, I feel like we're going to probably... I think the beginning of the season is going to start off with him, like, I think literally the first couple seconds of the season is going to be literally this part where he's walking out, gets the Tesseract, and then teleports away. I think it's going to start off literally sort of like that. And then maybe we either go here, well, I don't know. I mean, it may just have it that it goes to somewhere else, but I'm thinking timeline-wise of the series or the season, it's gonna go that place, then here. Of like, he's gonna teleport here, and be like, hold up, this is not the place I want to be. And then that's when Justice Peace comes in on his stoplight motorcycle. I wish I was joking, but this is literally in the comics. He basically rides a giant stoplight motorcycle. He's probably that would be if they show this, I'm gonna laugh so hard. It's not even gonna be funny if they have this in the show of just a giant stoplight. I would know it'd be funny. I think it would be funny if Loki made a joke of like, "Oh, what's that? You got a stoplight as your bike, a stoplight motorcycle." I mean, this looks like a stoplight. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. That looks like a stoplight to me. Then he's gonna be teleported or knocked out, taken to this place here.
No, I'm taking you someplace to talk.
Well, I don't like to talk.
But you do like to lie, which you just did.
Then he's probably gonna basically go up to the judge and basically be like, "Hey," they're gonna say all this. Probably gonna be like, "Hey, why are you here?" and all like that. Probably stuff like, "Oh, you mess with time," and probably explain like, "Hey, since you weren't here at this time during Avengers, you've messed up the timeline, and we're basically calling the cops on you. But we're the time traveling cops." It's so funny to say, time traveling cops. I never thought I would ever say that. But it's Marvel, and then probably either before or after, probably have them show this of like showing all of like his profile of his character. And then it's funny. He's like, "Oh man, I don't want to remember that." Then we probably have it cut to probably a scene where it's them probably in like I want to say either at a circus, maybe that looks like medieval clothing in the background. So probably go back to the medieval times. Then we this Jake the Ripper and basically takes everybody out one by one, and then it would be to this guy, who would basically be the final one who's like, "Oh, I just saw my friends die," and he dies. And then probably have it that Loki is sort of going to be like, "Hey, if you want a couple years off of your sentence for messing with time, go back in time and throughout time to stop this person from messing up all of the timeline to prevent a multiverse of madness." Ooh, now where have I heard that from? Doctor Strange 2? I don't know.
Glorious.
So he says glorious, and then that's probably why we see him. Why we see him here with his normal clothes that we usually see him in, and not his prison cell clothes. And they'll probably just keep going to different places. They're probably going to take people in and be like, "Hey, are you the one who's causing all the mischief of messing with time and all of that?" And they'll probably be like, "No, it's me, I swear." And they'll be like, "Yeah, it's you. Take him in, boys." So they'll probably just be getting everybody. Then little do they know they're being watched. I can see people on here on cameras. So that's probably the Reaper or the Rip. Why did I say Reaper? Ripper. Jake. I'm just gonna call him Jake the Ripper. Or Jake. I'm just gonna call him Jake. But we see Jake. They'll be here. This scene seems mysterious because it looks like in the back we have a Satan, and I want to say looks like to be in a church. So I feel like he's going to be doing some stuff that probably will mess up time and be like, "Hey, it's not the right thing to do, but it's what I gotta do." Maybe since maybe he's made a deal and has to be like, "Hey, I gotta follow by your rules or I'm screwed." Then they follow back to where Jake the Ripper. I guess they follow him back to the Dark Dimension, or Loki finds his way to the Dark Dimension. And this scene would probably be Maybe it's the scene where it's them talking at the desk. The scene here where they're looking at memories. Maybe Loki will get skeptical and be like, "Hey, are you guys really you guys really time travel and all that kind of stuff?" And like maybe uh, Loki will be like, "Oh, I just left that timeline for a little bit. Just send me back." I don't know. And maybe it's like, "Oh, I wasn't there. So what? What is that gonna do?" And maybe he'll like snap his fingers or do some kind of crazy stuff, and it'll show the timeline where it's this timeline because it looks like he just dropped down right there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like he looked like I'm sure it's that. Looks like he dropped down and just was like, holy cow. So maybe this is the alternate universe of where, uh, if Loki wasn't captured, or maybe it's a timeline where there are no Avengers. It's this has to be like a vision into the future of like, holy cow, this is what happens when you mess up with the timeline, or something like that. I feel like that's how this thing's going to be incorporated. Scene here where she's sitting, assuming that's a girl, sitting there, just vibing. That scene we just talked about, and I think this is either going to be the end where he completes all of this mission, like his completed mission of doing all that stuff and like completing it. This would be when he's working, trying to do that kind of stuff, or yeah, just working. So the scene right here, where it has the lady in the toga in the ancient Greek or Rome, I'm assuming that's someone he needs to protect to prevent a timeline or a uh, multiverse problem. I'm assuming. So he probably has to go. He probably has like a tiny, like little mission to get to his big final mission to be like, all right, we're gonna make you do all these little kind of missions and see how you handle them. And if you don't betray us, then we'll let you do the big mission where you have to figure out where or stop Dormammu. Maybe this is one of the tiny missions of like, hey, you got to do this kind of stuff. So maybe the scene here. So these people, I don't know who these people are. I don't know who they are. I can't tell what crest is on there. I have no idea what that is. If you have any ideas, please leave them down in the comments down below. I think that's when he completes all of his missions and he's set home to be like, hey, I'm free now. I'm assuming maybe. And then I feel like Heimdall or Thor has found them, or Loki, and been like, brother, where have you gone? I think that's how it's probably going to end with this one, and it's like, oh, where did he go now? If they do a season 2, I don't know how they would do it, but yeah. That's all I have for the breakdown for this trailer. I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, apples, am I right, chat?